Hello and welcome back to the GG.Bet Beijing Invitational. It's our first best of 3 of today, and we've reached map number 3. It's Forze taking on ex-Epsilon, and coming up right now is Mirage. And this should be a map where Forze are feeling comfortable, but with after that game, I don't know about it. So we're going to get right into it though, Halford. No time wasted. We're here on Mirage.
Absolutely, and as you said, this should be a comfortable map, at least a much more comfortable one than what we saw in Dust 2. But again, not unfamiliar territory for ex-Epsilon by any stretch of the imagination, so it's not necessarily going to be an easy task nonetheless. And ex-Epsilon do get the benefit of starting on the CT side, even though Forze have shown some definite prowess on the T side as well.
Well, the also GG.Bet certainly favouring Forze coming into Mirage, as I think everyone should. It is going to be the first kill coming in from Face Crack. Surreal will pick off Flit, but Surreal starts to move his way forward, looking for Almazer. He's got that kill pretty easily, so looking so solid so far for the CT side. But as soon as they try to get away, Face Crack is hot in their heels. NK will step up with one on towards Z-Power. But again, this is such a scary round. They go towards B through the murder hole, or at least attempting to do so, but they've been cut off towards CT. Jerry picks up a headshot on the Victor, and a second one on towards NK. It's all onto Surreal, and Face Crack hears him. He knows where he's going. He can call that to his teammate that he could be on short, and Face Crack, he can't quite get him on the cross, but the bomb has been planted, and Surreal looking for the 1v1 fights. Well played from Jerry, though, not to give him that opportunity as he sits back on the bomb site. Surreal tapping away, trying to get close, but not coming in just yet. He'll look for the kill on towards Face Crack. He's picked it up. 1v1 fight, and Jerry, he's got it for Forze. It is going to be the pistol, but what a chaotic pistol run that was.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it, and I guess we wouldn't have it any other way to start us off on the third map. But Forze do get the better of it, and while ex-Epsilon were able to stifle the T side of Forze, at the very least, on Dust 2, and somehow it's going to be equally important here on Mirage as well. We've seen Forze have, well, less than stellar CD sides, but their T sides have never really left us wanting. So it's going to be a big task for the CT side here to be able to stay in the game and not let Forze run away with this. Early on, though, push coming in through B-Abs of all places. Flit's going to be the recipient. He's going to be good for at least one, and the follow-up from Z-Power actually not going to net him a single kill, and not even that much damage. At the very least, the A-bomb set has been taken under the control of Forze, but bomb still needs to make its way over there. Jerry in a far forward position, and Almazer cutting off at least any sort of entrance towards middle. Actually, strays a little bit further forward, but has found 2 kills. Surreal left alone with the USP, no armor. Face Crack already gets the bomb plant down. Doesn't even get caught off by it. So, all in all, pretty easy affair for Forze here.
Yeah, Face Crack showing a little bit of BM as well. 2-0 here for the T side. And we'll look on towards ex-Epsilon. They will have the open hands of Surreal. And I'm assuming, I was assuming that eventually one of those would be dropped over to Crucial, but they've gone for a double up setup here.
Right off the
on
bat.
Spellin and Surreal.
Yeah. That's
2 glass cannons.
2 glass cannons, yeah. Normally, Surreal has been known to handle an op in the past, but hasn't necessarily been tasked with that responsibility when we've seen them play so far. Spellin at least has been doing a good job of it, and Surreal showcases that, yeah, he definitely remembers how to wield that weapon immediately. 2-minute advantage for ex-Epsilon. We've seen them actually have a pretty decent success rate with these third round buys, and I definitely think ex-Epsilon was caught off guard by the fact that there was 2 ops in play at this stage.
While Forze start to try and figure out what they want to do, ex-Epsilon are going to be just sitting back passively. They've got the advantages here. They've got the positional advantages as well. Forze really only have mid to work with, so you can see they've got to make a risk and go towards window. Luckily for them, no one's really watching this.
Oh, if Crucial gets caught out here, this could spell disaster.
He knows it's a possibility. He knows they're there. He peeks
timing
into the open, and the timing is really solid here for Crucial. He picks up the first kill, goes back towards Connector, switches to the Krieg, but it doesn't matter. Spellin has picked up Flit, and Forze fall flat.
Yeah, there was a moment in time there where Crucial obviously was paying attention to the Connector opening, and Spellin with his positioning in kitchen had no real way of actually cutting anyone off. Could have quickly spelled the demise of that A-bomb site for ex-Epsilon and actually given a way back into the round for Forze, but they hold on and they do it pretty damn well solidly as well. Now we're actually going to see Spellin give up the op, hand it over to Crucial, who's doing just fine on the rifles as well, but at least nearing somewhat more of normality. Crucial's been so far the MVP for me, at least, for ex-Epsilon with his op prowess. We'll see if that continues. Might have been off of the fact that he had a good spawn as well for that mid window, making the jump into Catwalk. Force on their end, I mean, they have purchased up, committed into this. They're setting up for an A execute, and so far there's not enough aggression on the side of ex-Epsilon really to make a cheat rotation. Smokes are going to fly over. Let's see how Surreal deals with this.
Oh, not very well on the first shot. He gets flashed away. It has to go back in towards CT. Two players from Forze might try to overwhelm him here. Surreal is looking for it, and that's a much better shot. Flick up towards the top of the ticket box. Almazer will walk in and drop NK. It's going to be a 4v4 with 34 seconds left remaining on this bomb. Fizzcrack with a headshot. Spellin again fighting back. But Surreal is so low. He's still picking off players though. And Fizzcrack, he will get one onto Surreal. That Molotov will separate the two players and gives Crucial a little bit of time actually to get in towards the A bomb site. Although Fizzcrack's holding CT, it will be a kill towards Default. Taps the bomb, doesn't know where he is, but he walks into his crosshair surely at this point. He's still sticking it, doesn't come off the bomb, and Fizzcrack will find it onto Crucial. 3-1, Forze eventually get the win there, but again, very, very scrappy.
Very scrappy, but considering what they brought into the round, you can be, well, only really happy if you're Forze. That was 2 weapons and a bunch of pistols on that A execute that makes it work. Fizzcrack doing a damn fine job finding 3 frags. Crucial. Brazen with holding the defuse, but didn't really have too many options. Did the best he could. It just wasn't enough in that case. So smokes for top mid. Still fairly passive hold.
Almazer is going to take a lot of damage on board. Jerry able to drop Spellin, and Crucial, he will step in with 1 on the AWP. And we're into 3v4. NK up in the window. He's going to receive quite a bit of damage from Flit. It's into a 3v3. Crucial desperately looking for a player to walk in towards his crosshair. And finally, it will happen, but it looked like he got away. Fizzcrack with the spam, knows the lineup very well. Well, at this point, 2v2, 30 seconds left. The bomb is making its way through jungle. And well, at this point, Forze haven't really been spotted, so they can get into an alright position at this point. Through the kitchen they go, 17 seconds. Eventually they'll have to sprint, and Victor, he's going to be the only man on the B-bomb side that could do anything for Epsilon. And he's got to step up in seconds. They line up. They have to go with the bomb plant immediately. And well, they did leave that to the final seconds. And the bomb plant does come in. So Surreal into your 1v2 realizes, well, he hasn't got a kit. He's so far away. It has to be the safe call. And Forze will get 4-1.
Tucks himself into the corner, and 10 seconds until the bomb goes off. You imagine that Zpar starts getting a move on, just to make sure he doesn't die to the explosion. And there we have it, 4 rounds for Forze. So while there was a definite opportunity for ex-Epsilon here to stem the tide early on with T-side of Forze, they haven't quite been able to. Now it's back to eco territory. They do have that op saved, so might be able to do some damage, but Forze looking a lot better than what they did throughout the entirety of Dust 2 already.
Well, flash in towards middle, Z-Power, Molotov in towards connector. He wasn't going for the peak, but instead setting up the mid-take. It's going to be Surreal peeking up in towards the apartments. This AWP has to have impact. It's the only weapon of value they have here in round number 6 for ex-Epsilon. As they'll start to move forward, he'll be creeping into the waiting arms of Almazer. If Almazer finds this, the chances of ex-Epsilon do essentially squander. A good push through Palace as well from Spellen, so you'll realize there's no action towards the A side, so this stack over towards B is certainly working at the minute. Eventually will want to walk in towards B here, Forze. And this is where the stack is, the AWP's here as well. This is the best chance for ex-Epsilon to steal this one away. Surreal looking down the barrel, nearly a collateral. He will only get one, but jumps into the waiting arms of Fitzcrack, who'll end up picking 2. Crucial finally steps up with a deagle inside of the ninja boxes. He will fall though, and it's all on Spellen, AK in hand. He was the player flanking through Palace at the beginning. They nearly line up for him there, but he can't quite capitalize. Jerry jumps up. His position now known. Spellen, it becomes much more difficult, but he plays it well onto Z-Power. But Flit will get rid of him in the end. So 3 in a row here for Forze. 5-1 on the board, and a nice attempt there. Decent damage from ex-Epsilon, but they couldn't quite capitalize.
Well, they couldn't. Well, yeah, as you said, they did at least put a bit of a minor scare into them. Now they need to, well, really make a dent if they're going to stay in this. Buy comes in again. It's back to double offs, and this time still going to be Surreal wielding the secondary one. Spellen seemingly not as comfortable with it on Mirage. Crucial actually missing a few opportunities here, and he's getting smoked off, but, well, as soon as the smoke falls, so does Flit through it. NK on short. Actually gotten into position, but gets, well, just the wrong timing. That's NK down. And this sets up the spurt towards the B-bomb site. Facecrack and Z-Power combine. And right now, it's all over the place. ex-Epsilon not finding their footing here. Jerry is also going to be the late lurk over towards A. And he's been doing this pretty much every time we've seen them play Mirage, and more often than not, he's successful.
This is obviously a better showing from Forze, showing that they're more capable on Mirage, they're more prepared. Dust 2 really didn't seem to be prepared at all. And I feel like Dust 2 isn't a very difficult map to prepare on. And in fact, all you need to know is just get that execute done on Catwalk. And obviously you can practice it and improve it. But having those core smokes makes things a lot easier on Dust 2. And it's something you can obviously just add straight away.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard of a challenge, right, to sort that out. And you'd imagine that, I think one of the things Forze learned from their major run, because they talked about how they didn't boot camp because they figured they just wanted to maintain what they've been working on for such a long time, and didn't necessarily feel like they needed to add a whole lot, which is fair enough, but I think it's evident that they need an additional map into their map pool if they want to be feeling, well, very confident about themselves. Obviously, they're very good at the maps that they do have in their I guess, playing hands as it stands right now, but Dust 2 is not one of them, so that could be sorted out pretty quickly, and I think they learned from that after the major, the fact that they needed to change up a couple of things. So all of these learning experiences should make Forze a much stronger team, and right now in Mirage, it seems like they've found their groove. 1-7 in favor of Forze. That's really all you can ask for. ex-Epsilon not really being able to get into the groove of this. Just going a little bit too fast around the corners. Now, well, another change up. Spellen's back on the op.
Yeah. We do see that come through quite a bit, the changing of the guard in terms of who's picking up the op on ex-Epsilon. But you've so far seeing Crucial, Spellen, NK, and Surreal. The only player we haven't seen pick it up is Victor. Z-Power will get rid of Spellen.
I think it's going to be a while before we see Victor pick that up. Right now, right into the waiting arms of Forze players are ex-Epsilon finding themselves already down 2 men, and even though they've done damage onto Facecrack, they desperately need that frag. Already lost the B bomb site, and looks like they're just kind of gathering up to save whatever they have. And Jerry, how patient is he going to be? Well, not patient enough. Surreal finds him, and that at least gives them an avenue to back out and find new positions to hold off, because there's no doubt that Forze are looking to hunt this down. They know how fragile the CT side economy is at this stage. Already vacated the bomb site as well. You have Facecrack through the B apartments. Almazer quickly moving through mid. He's going to be joined by Flit. Only one probably not very likely to go hunting here is Z-Power with that op in hand. A little bit far removed to actually get anything done though. Decide to just leave ex-Epsilon with what they have going into the next round. And it's not a bad get, I suppose, from ex-Epsilon either. An op, FAMAS, Krieg. Not FAMAS, actually, two rifles. Or two proper rifles, I should say. But that does leave them with a pretty healthy buy, all things considered. They will get a fair bit of utility as well. Well, they need it. They haven't found a lot of success on the CT side. Now talking things through before we get going again, but Forze looking to continue their spree. It's been 6 rounds in a row, and they're looking to make it 7.
This is the sort of T side when we were talking about earlier, right? This is the T side that we expect to see from Forze more often than not. But it's good to see this is a pretty orthodox best of 3, right? Both teams playing pretty well. They win their map picks that they choose, which is the way things should be.
Yeah.
And we find ourselves on Mirage, which on paper could have been a close affair, but obviously we have to expect Forze to be the team to walk away with it just with the way that they're performing. And they're doing a great job on the T side so far. Ex-Epsilon, they're certainly having signs of life. They've pulled themselves close to victory in a few of these, but again, Forze have just won a couple of the forced buy rounds that they maybe shouldn't have. And we've said time and time again, if you're an underdog, you can't afford to let those slip. There's going to be an A execute in towards the A bomb site. Smokes up, push coming in. We'll start to swarm the site, need to go through, back and forth, grenade will land up on top of the fireboxes as Spellen will start to spam away. Fierce Crack starts to punch in the digits. Bomb plant is coming through in behind triple, but Almir's just spamming through. Does damage onto 2 players, and that scares them away. That's enough to keep them back. And they're still waiting for this retake to explode, essentially. They're all coming in from a pretty similar angle. No one's towards CT, no one's ramp, so they all have to come through jungle area. It is going to be a bloodbath for Fierce Crack and Flit as they find 3 kills. Victor finally chimes in with something, but they're just being wrecked here on the ex-Epsilon side. It's 9-1, 7 in a row for Forze.
7 in a row. Fake Crack is just having the time of his life, really. Picking up a 4K in that one, sitting at 15 in total. And yeah, seemingly whatever ex-Epsilon wants to do is not panning out. They're losing all the duels that they previously won on Dust 2, and it's very quickly sliding out of control for them. 9-1, and not seemingly getting any closer to a round win here. And again, it's not necessarily super complicated what Forze are actually doing with themselves right now, and that's kind of what we were hoping to see from them on Dust 2 as well, that they've added something simple but yet very effective. Because as you can see on Mirage, it really does a whole world of difference. Now, playing a bit with the utility and then the nerves of ex-Epsilon here. Bit of a fake towards the A-bomb site. So it spends a lot of utility right now. 3 flashes and a Molotov is really all the CT side has to defend themselves with. And now it seems like they want Almazer and it's Z-Power over towards, no, it's not, it's Flit. Over towards the B-Abs to sell a bit of a B-take.
So looking to reach double figures will be crucial. Just putting up some resistance as he drops Z-Power. And that's a player you don't want to lose if you're Forze, so we'll see what they can do in reply. Bomb still on T-spawn. 1 player outside of the ramp, 1 in middle, and 2 over towards B. So pretty spread out at this point.
Yeah, they just want to try to pull ex-Epsilon in every sort of different directions. And, well, they're going to be efficient with that, seeing how Flit just took over the B bomb site. Jerry always been the lurk, so that's not necessarily going to be a pretty big tell for ex-Epsilon. They might still think this is a B take, and that's why you're seeing Spell and rotate over.
Yeah, bomb's coming back in towards the site. So
yeah.
10 seconds. They have no possibility here for failure. They have to let this happen. The bomb needs to go down right now, and Spellin knows that. He's going to start going towards him.
Oh,
Flit's back's turned.
timing.
There's the bomb plant denied, but it comes in. It actually comes through. Spellin will let it happen. And that is literally milliseconds in it as Flit looks back in towards the site. It's a 1v2 for him.
Oh, now he's actually got a pretty decent afterplan position as well. There's no smokes here. Oh boy. Are they actually going to bring this one back? They have one flash. Molotov's not going to be used in the right position. Crucial has gone up to the high ground though. That's pretty big, but misses the opportunity and Spellin goes down, and that's probably the end of the round. Yep, no defuse kit available on Crucial and no time left. Somehow Force bring that one back as well. Well, Flit's going to go for more. Oh, is he going to find Crucial? Ooh, not that far away. Already double figures, and you can see FaceCrack leading the way here with 15, Z-Power, Flit, and Jerry all sitting at 9. And it's just barely not enough over and over again for ex-Epsilon here, and that's why we're looking at a pretty brutal score so far. Z-Power waiting patiently at the top of middle, seeing if there's anyone wanting to go aggressive on the side of ex-Epsilon. They haven't found too much success with that, or, well, just about anything up to this point so far on their CT side. Well, might be more of the same. See 2 players on Forze setting up for that. Those A smokes. And again, with how much presence they've had over towards A, you wouldn't be surprised if you see a pretty hefty reaction from Epsilon off of that. And they don't really have the utility to waste here, and that's really the big issue. So they need to be very stingy about how long they hold on to it. And there we go. 2 smokes fly over. Not an actually wide enough stance on NK to actually spot the 2 players coming up through connector. Now, yeah, Force a little bit confused. They're wondering where all the Epsilon players have gone. They'll find Crucial though, but not quite in the fashion that they wanted to. FaceCrack goes down. Crucial is down to 5 HP, but this is a bit of a weird standoff.
Well, Z-Power, he does get a kill. Jerry will also assist him in doing so.
Time is a little bit low though here. Surreal's position, if he finds the right time to pounce, could be exceptional. And Z-Power though, the insurance policy as always. It's going to make sure the bomb goes down, and meanwhile Flit has found Victor rotating over. NK last man remaining. He's got a FAMAS, no kit, so needs to get his legs moving, but also has 3 players from Force to find. This is looking like a bit of an impossible gig.
Yeah, less than easy. As he comes back in through ramp, El-Miser will be looking the wrong way.
Oh, FAMAS.
I don't know.
That's a FAMAS and a half.
God, that is awful.
Hate that weapon.
It is so bad, isn't it?
It would have been so nice if the burst fire actually worked as it did.
Yeah, it's kind of useless. It actually just makes it even worse going for the burst fire. Yeah, well, here's the odds, 14.03 for ex-Epsilon. Not exactly the greatest odds for the CT side, and, well, you can't really argue against it. It's 11-1 here, Forze looking solid, and they want to get it done.
Yeah, and right about now, if there's ever time to head over to GG.Bet, now is the time. And what you guys at home can do is secure your bet. Safe and easy. There's no queue times, no working hours, no rejections. You can use the code SAVE in all capital letters to ensure your bet. And with that, Epsilon, they need to ensure some rounds if they want to have hope of staying in this. It's going to be tough to do, though, with what they're currently investing into, a scout on Surreal and a couple of deagles. But we'll see how it all pans out. Forze really just have been an unstoppable force, no pun intended, on Mirage so far.
Well, Surreal looking for a headshot. We've seen some incredible plays on the scout from this guy on Dust 2.
Yeah, that's very true. He needs to find some of that magic once more.
Well, he has hit a shot, but it's not lethal, as the triple box protects El-Miser. It is 11-1. And the bomb is all the way back near T-spawn, so it is going to be a slow approach from Forze. They like to do this. They like to just try and spread out across the map, see what they can find, see what sort of map control they can gain. And generally, it's good for a kill, just like that. T-Power and Fist Crack, 2 kills come their way, and this T-side is unstoppable. ex-Epsilon can't do anything. It is 3 Deagles remaining, but they've cleared everything here. Forze need to realize Palace is a possibility, and well, they're going to smoke it off. Under a minute left to play with. Fist Crack's assumed position inside of jungle. I just don't see a world in which ex-Epsilon even get a kill here. It's going to be 12-1. That would put us into a very scary position if you're a Epsilon fan. It would also put us on schedule, though. However, that would be quite something.
That would be something. All right, now Forze are doing their damnedest to make sure that this third map is really out of reach for ex-Epsilon.
Yeah, this is the kind of run that you just have to save, even though it's not a whole lot that you've got to save. But you know, you guys might have something to save, I guess, if you head over to GG.Bet.com. Use the code SAVE. There's no queues, there's no rejections, and no business hours. So use the code SAVE to ensure your bet on GG.Bet.com.
Okay, doing the same this, but there's no survivors as long as Forze is on the server. Apparently, they have no mercy whatsoever. That was just Deagles being tried to attempted to be saved in addition to Light Kevlar and Victor, but you're not even getting that across from Forze. They just want to end this as quickly as possible. The buy's still going to be okay for ex-Epsilon. Obviously, they have a ton of loss bonus to work off of here. Crucial. Even getting a Light Kevlar with that off. No utility, though. He's already made his way down into Underpass. And oof, Spellin gets away with one and also leaves a nice little explosive package to do some damage. Flip. And everyone getting in on the action. NK with the aggressive push through Cat is actually going to net him 2 kills. Jerry in, oh, the position he's always in. Yaps flies out at the right time to equalize the numbers, and bomb's going to get planted by Face Crack. Face Crack might even flash for Jerry here. Doesn't really catch Victor off guard, but forces him to reposition. And now NK left alone. Rotating around the back, making a whole lot of sounds, and we'll see. Oh, it's already been spotted, and that's a quick demise and an end to a round where Epsilon actually had a pretty decent chance of bringing one back, but it's not to be. And right now, this is just Forze dominating. That's pretty much all you can say about it.
Yeah, I think we're starting to run out of superlative to describe this T-site from Forze.
It's so consistent as well. That's the cool part, right?
Especially on Mirage. Like, this is probably the most consistent T-site they have.
Yeah. So we were a little bit surprised to see it being the third map instead of necessarily their map pick. But I guess if it ends well, all is well. All mods are now picking up the op and, well, already doing a whole lot of damage. Double ops T-side. That's where we're finding ourselves now. Forze seemingly doing whatever they feel like. Spelling down to 16 HP after getting a magnum bullet to the leg. Jerry, like with the way he's playing apps here, kind of reminds me of Adren. If you go back to 2015 to 17, that spree where pretty much all he did in all of his teams on Mirage is hang out in apps and casually stroll out from A apps and seemingly always find a perfect timing to find CT players looking the other direction. Jerry's just doing that time and time again. Now, Jerry didn't actually get to be part of all the fun there. Split steals the frag away, but it doesn't really matter. They've been picked up on every part of the map. Spellin, one of the first players to see some action, was sent down to 16 HP. He's going to find a bit of a constellation frag, but it's a 1v3. Bomb's been planted. And it's the last round of the first half, so he needs to get moving. And there you have it.
14-1 half.
Yeah.
It's not really too much you can say about that one from ex-Epsilon. They had a few kills here and there. I mean, Crucial's still doing all right. 12 kills. Your Spell's got 11. They are finding kills. It's just not run wins, sadly.
Yeah. They've been close a couple of times here and there, but really, it feels like they had the best chance of making their mark at it in round 4, which is becoming quite a while ago right now, where they could have hampered the economy of Forze, but instead end up losing a round they probably shouldn't have to an execute with only 2 rifles. And from there on out, it's been all about the Forze squad and what they can do so consistently on this T side of Mirage.
Smoke is ready to go in towards the B-bomb site. We'll see if ex-Epsilon can stop the 15-1. As there will be FaceCrack peeking into the open. Second flash is brilliant. Blinds everyone, but FaceCrack can't get anything, but somehow Flick gets 2. But there's not enough just yet. Zepar has to step up, and he's got that headshot, but Surreal's in with a trade. 1v2 here for Jerry. Bomb plant coming through right in front of his face, but they both peek him. And well, there we go. ex-Epsilon get another round on the board, and if they want to come back, this is perhaps the start of it. It's going to have to be an excellent comeback, though.
It's going to have to be one for the ages.
I mean, they still can win in regulation.
They can, but as you can see, GG.Bet doesn't really seem to be believers.
Yeah, they definitely aren't on that hype train.
Yeah, 14.29 in odds of Epsilon bringing this one back.
Yeah, you can almost rely on GG.Bet to be the realists, right?
Yeah, they're going to put you back onto Earth, aren't they? And Z-Power not going to spot Spell in. Maybe he is going to connect with something through, well, not through the smoke, but once he sees daylight, Spellin closes his eyes and nopes out of the server for this round. Jerry somehow not taking damage from the fire and flames.
Yeah, he's got like a flame-proof suit.
Yeah, fire resistance gear. Been playing too much classic WoW, and man advantage is back with Forze, and the gap in the smoke there is not going to do any favors for Crucial. This is just falling apart, isn't it? Now, NK all alone. He's got a MAC-10 stuck in new boxes. They know where he is, and down he goes. Well, if that's not just a very accurate portrayal of the map so far, then I don't know what is. Forze bring it right back to where they want to. They're on match point. They've, well, the world is their oyster. It's going to be tough to see a world where they fail to capitalize off of this.
I mean, you may win the pistol, right? But you just can't deal with the Forze buy.
Yeah, it's
apparently
just a universal law. Now then, smokes go into window, so Z-Power nopes out. FaceCrack with an underhand toss. He's going to play around the smoke and does put damage onto Victor. Needs to be careful about Crucial's aggressive stance though, and down to 5 HP he goes. Still managed to trickle around, and Z-Power comes back into the action.
Wow. Good start for Forze. They only need 3 more kills here to take the series and move on in the tournament. Well, Forze, we have come to realize this team can make it through invitationals quite easily most of the time. They have had a bit of a hiccup having to fight through this bracket. They haven't been here too often, but they make it through in the end. 16-2 win here for Forze on Mirage. And this is definitely the map we expect them to take away. And, well, they do it entirely convincingly.
Yeah, whatever scares we had about Dust 2 potentially leaving them a little bit rattled for Mirage didn't really come true.
No, not at all. No, not at all. I think they played better than probably we've seen in a long time on Mirage.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say, and as good of a showing overall that ex-Epsilon had throughout this invitational just wasn't really enough when we got down to the nitty-gritty of it. So Forze to make it through, that means that they're the second team with Mouse Sports from Group A to make it to the playoffs. And now, well, once we come back from a bit of an extended break, we're going to see who dukes it out for the final spot in the playoffs, Heroic or Gamer Legion.
Yes, indeed. We are going to go for a little bit of an extended break, but we will be back, should I say, with the rest of this. We have got Heroic taking on Gamer Legion in a rematch for the ages. The best of 3 coming right up.